It started on a quiet evening, the kind of night when everything feels calm until it isn't. I had just finished dinner, grilled chicken, some rice, and a little glass of red wine. As I stood up from the table, I felt it, a strange flutter in my chest. Then another, and another. My heart was skipping beats. At first, I thought maybe it was just anxiety or maybe the wine. But as the seconds passed, that uneasy rhythm didn't stop. It was like my heart had forgotten how to beat properly. I sat back down, clutching my chest, waiting for it to pass. It didn't. My wife looked at me, her eyes wide. She said, "Are you okay, Tom?" I forced a weak smile, just a little dizzy. But inside, I was terrified. That night, lying in bed, I could hear every beat echoing in my chest. Fast, slow, then racing again. I didn't sleep a minute. My mind was spinning with questions. Was this a heart attack, a warning sign, or just what happens when you get older? The next morning, I called my doctor. He told me to come in right away. They ran tests, EKG, blood pressure, cholesterol, all the usual suspects. When the results came back, he looked at me with that calm, serious expression doctors use when they don't want to scare you. "Tom," he said, "your heart is working, but it's tired." He explained that years of stress, late-night eating, and inconsistent sleep had weakened my heart rhythm. "Your body's working overtime when it should be resting," he said, "especially at night." I frowned. "So what do I do?" He smiled slightly. "Start small, one simple thing after dinner, and give your heart a chance to heal while you sleep." He didn't prescribe pills. He handed me a handwritten note with just 6 words on it. Walk, breathe, stretch, reflect, hydrate, rest. I looked up at him, confused. "That's it?" He nodded. "Do it every night, and you'll see." I didn't know it then, but that small note would end up saving my life.
Maybe you saw a piece of your own story in mine. Maybe your heart has been whispering for help, too, just waiting for you to listen. Remember, it's never too late to start again. Your heart's been beating for you all your life. Maybe now it's time to beat with you. If this story touched you, give your heart one more gift today. Click that subscribe button and stay with us. Because here, every story is a second chance, and every heartbeat is a reminder you're still alive for a reason. Take care of yourself tonight. And remember, your next heartbeat could be the start of something beautiful.
That evening, I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the doctor's note again. 6 simple words, but something about them felt powerful. Walk, breathe, stretch, reflect, hydrate, rest. I'd spent years taking pills, following diets, checking my blood pressure, yet I'd never tried slowing down to listen to my heart. So I started small. I put on my sneakers and stepped outside. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. For 10 minutes, I just walked, slow, steady, breathing deeply with each step. It wasn't about exercise. It was about rhythm, letting my heart find its beat again. When I came back inside, I filled a glass of water and sat in my chair by the window. I took a deep breath, in through my nose, out through my mouth. My chest rose and fell slowly, and for the first time in a long time, I could feel calm settling in. Then I stretched, gently, carefully. My back, my shoulders, my legs. Every movement seemed to release tension I didn't even know I was holding. It was like my body was finally exhaling after years of silent pressure. Afterward, I sat quietly, looking out at the stars. I thought about my life, about the things I'd worried over, the things I'd ignored, and the people I loved most. That moment of reflection, it wasn't sad, it was grounding. My heart wasn't something to fear anymore. It was something to care for. I finished my water, turned off the lights, and lay in bed. For the first time in weeks, my heartbeat felt steady. Not racing, not skipping, just peaceful. I closed my eyes with a strange mix of gratitude and disbelief. Could something so simple really make a difference? I didn't know then, but that night was the beginning of something new. A slow, steady rhythm that would not only heal my heart, but change my entire way of living. By the end of that first week, something inside me started to shift. Each night, I'd follow the same rhythm: walk, breathe, stretch, reflect, hydrate, rest. And every morning, I'd wake up with a little more light in my chest. The tightness that once felt constant began to fade. My wife noticed it first. One morning, she looked at me across the breakfast table and said, "You look different." I smiled, something I hadn't done in weeks, and realized she was right. The lines of worry on my face were softening. My blood pressure readings began to stabilize. The pounding in my chest, that thumping that used to scare me at night, was gentler now. It was like my heart was learning how to breathe again. But more than the numbers, it was the feeling that changed. I began to trust my body again. Each breath wasn't a countdown, it was a gift. Each walk wasn't a chore, it was a conversation with life itself. I started adding music to my walks: slow jazz, old love songs from the 70s. The rhythm matched my heartbeat, and suddenly I felt alive again. Neighbors began to wave, and I'd wave back with a grin I hadn't worn in years. One evening, as I returned home, I paused by the door and felt it, a calm, steady pulse beneath my hand. Not the wild, erratic beat that used to haunt me, but a confident, gentle rhythm, the sound of a heart that had remembered to trust. That night, I wrote a note in my journal. Healing doesn't happen in hospitals alone. Sometimes it happens when you learn to slow down and listen. I closed my notebook and smiled. My heart, my fragile, faithful heart, was finally finding peace.